Okay, I know that y'all would probably think that since I had a 3-day weekend, I probably would have watched a little bit more anime, but I actually went the other direction. And I wanted this weekend to be simpler, calmer. I guess I did still watch a good amount of stuff this week, on account of the fact that I watched Breaking Bad. I watched most of the third season. I didn't quite finish it. I've still got the last disc to go. But that's not anime, so that's not anime analysis. On the note of anime analysis, I think there's only 3 things to talk about. Little things I maybe looked at here and there. I guess Babylon 5 Crusade isn't anime either, but finally finished that. But the 3 things that were definitively watched were Planzet, which I'll admit I was only half paying attention to because of Harry Potter fanfiction called Methods of Rationality, which I'm not saying is necessarily good, but I'm kind of curious to see what they do with it. Some of it has been shoulder shrugging. Others it's been like, I wonder if they're analyzing something that was in the original Harry Potter books here, but not in the movies. Because I've not read the books, I've only watched the movies. It'd be interesting to get the opinion of somebody who's actually seen it. But yeah, so Planzet I was only half paying attention to, but I also kind of felt like it didn't seem to have much draw to it per se. I get the impression that the team or the individuals who made it kind of had certain visuals they wanted to show, as opposed to approaching this from trying to tell a specific story. And what I mean by that is there were some visually interesting things about it. The person I watched it with commented that it felt fast, and I think a lot of that was because it kind of tried to have some story to it, but it wasn't very well defined, I guess, or rather well executed. So it's not like there was a lot drawing us in story-wise, in my opinion. Just things happen. Cool things, neat visuals. You could instantly tell that the one general lady was voiced by the same English voice actors who did Asuka. But yeah, I guess I can't think of much else to comment about that. Not bad, but also not spectacular. It's probably not going to rattle any something or the others. But I actually found the next movie on this list that I watched more interesting. This one is an old one from 1969 called Puss in Boots. Now, admittedly, there are a lot of things about it that are silly, but at the same time, since it was kind of established, well, to be honest, it actually kind of establishes itself in a kind of frightening way. With lightning and thunder and main character being told that he must be executed for being nice to mice, essentially. He being the cat in Boots, and I don't know if that's part of a standard story, since I also never read the original story of that. But outside of that, yeah, it gets a lot more slapsticky, and it had some rather amusing things in it. And there was a kind of flow to the story, but that one was contrived. You kind of expect it based on its attitude about things, where it just kind of feels like, oh, well, he's the human main character and she's a princess, so of course they're going to fall in love. And it's not even like Aladdin style of, Disney's Aladdin of building the relationship. It's a kind of, well, thing will just happen sort of thing, and he'll take it kind of for granted. I say kind of, but there's still a story that revolves around that. But again, a lot of what made it amusing was kind of just what kept happening. It's sort of like the slapstick, I guess. It's not Disney's Peter Pan amazing, but it was amusing. All right, all that aside, the main thing I watched was the first 7 episodes of Figure 17, which I've seen before, but so I'm rewatching it again for the 3rd or 4th, maybe even the 5th time. I don't know. And that one's been really pleasant, especially since I've been in that point of view of trying to not think about as much stuff and tone down a lot of this stressful thinking of, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this. Figure 17 kind of fit really well in that, because the slice of life in that is just really nice, and just how well that intermeshes with the science fiction aspects it's just, I really like the series, and I really, really, really like the way it begins, and I really, really, really like the way it ends. But of course, I still have to rewatch the second half, so there's still that to take care of. And I don't think my attitude will change, but yeah, there's that. Alright, that's all the anime I've watched. I have no clue what I'm going to be doing for the next week. I know that there's a chance tonight I'm going to be watching Figure 17, unless that's changed. And I've been really curious about Shiki, which just came out. But other than that, I have